"Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to open the case," the TSA agent said, voice steady but firm, her hand hovering over the sleek black Coffin transport container. Standing before her, unwavering, was a man in full army dress blues. Pristine white gloves, spit-shined shoes, posture rigid, eyes calm but resolute. "Ma'am," he answered quietly, tone respectful yet immovable, "this is a transfer for a fallen soldier. I cannot allow it to be opened." The security line went dead silent. Nearby, passengers craned their necks to see the disturbance. The agent remained steadfast. "We understand the sentiment, sir, but airport safety protocol requires an inspection. Open the case." A supervisor squared his shoulders and approached, exuding authority. "Either you open the container now, or we will," he warned coldly. The man's jaw clenched. "Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear." Let's dive in. This was not just any serviceman, he was a sentinel of the tomb of the unknown soldier, one of the most disciplined elite units in the US military. These sentinels march exactly 21 steps, pause for 21 seconds, turn and repeat, no matter the weather, blazing sun, pounding rain, blistering snow, or gale force wind. They do not speak unless necessary. They do not break character. They never abandon their post or the honor owed to the fallen. That day, he stood not in ceremonial silence, but on a sacred mission, escorting a fellow soldier, a Vietnam War MIA, finally identified through DNA after more than 50 years and now repatriated to be brought home with dignity. The sentinel extended his official orders, embossed paper with the Department of Defense seal, classified Omega-level transport clearance, signed by multiple high-ranking officers. "This soldier has waited over half a century for this flight," he stated evenly. "You may scan it with imaging devices or X-ray equipment, but you shall not open it." A hush fell over the checkpoint. The supervisor sneered. "I don't care who you are, regulations are regulations." "No, sir," came the reply, voice unwavering. "Honor is honor." A junior intelligence analyst nearby, monitoring the paperwork on a secure tablet, froze. His fingers hovered over the glowing screen. "Sir," he finally spoke up, voice quivering, "this escort has Omega priority clearance. Pentagon issued override. This container is exempt from opening." Nearby, a Homeland Security officer in a suit and badge had stepped forward once the tension escalated. He scanned the documentation, jaw dropping slightly as he absorbed the contents. His voice softened. "This man is telling the truth," he said, turning to the TSA staff. "Stand down. Do not open the case." But fate moves in moments. One curious TSA junior agent had already released the first clasp, the click echoing like a drumbeat across the silent terminal. The lid lifted a fraction, mere inches, and there it lay, immaculately draped in a folded American flag. The blue Union field with stars gleamed beneath the lights. The red and white stripes lay taut. A silver identification plaque rested atop its immaculate folds. In that single suspended moment, time seemed to halt. The room was gripped not by silence, but stillness, an audible absence of breath, movement, noise. Every person present felt it. The sentinel stepped forward deliberately, not with anger, but overwhelmed grief. His voice trembled for the first time, barely audible. "Do not open it." He spoke as though addressing the soldier inside. The flag-draped case was sacred. A fellow uniformed soldier, leaving a nearby terminal, halted mid-step, his rifle slung, and snapped into attention. He saluted. Another serviceman, passing through immigration, stopped and saluted. Soon, dozens of uniformed and civilian strangers stood at attention. A woman in the perimeter quietly began humming taps through tears. Passengers hunched over, heads bowed, some clutching tissues, some silent with emotion. A stranger placed his hand on another's shoulder. The TSA agents, staff, and bystanders instinctively retreated, creating a respectful space. The sentinel knelt beside the case, removed his cap, and gently unfurled the corner of the flag with his white-gloved hand. His head bowed, eyes closed. His uniform immaculate, but his stature broken only by solemn reverence. He was standing for a warrior who never came home. Until now. He remained in that posture for long seconds. Seconds that felt like lifetimes for those witnessing. When he finally stood, he turned to face the supervisor, eyes glistening but steady. "This is not cargo," he said softly with conviction. "This is a hero, a man who gave his life in a jungle for people he never knew. And I will not allow his return to be reduced to paperwork." The supervisor, visibly shaken, offered a slow, respectful nod. Without further protest, airport staff cleared a discreet corridor, and the sentinel, Coffin, and honor guard were escorted to the tarmac. The terminal resumed normal flow, but the energy had shifted. People wiped tears from their eyes. A few hugged, some just stared at the spot where the case had rested, as though anchoring themselves to a memory of reverence. Later that day, as the flight descended into the soldiers' hometown airport, a full honor guard awaited. As porters carried the coffin down the ramp under a sinking golden sun, the sentinel followed behind, silent, composed, resolute. He never revealed his name. He needed none. Because in that moment, everyone recognized who he was, a living embodiment of a promise, that no American who dies in uniform is ever forgotten, that no matter how many decades pass, someone, maybe unknown, maybe unseen, will come for them, and they will be carried home not by strangers, but by devoted guardians. In that honor guard procession, amid the folding of flags and the playing of taps, family members of the fallen wept quietly, surrounded by soldiers and civilians, overwhelmed by shared reverence. And in that moment, they didn't need identity. They knew. Because real honor doesn't clamor for attention. It stands watch. It kneels when others stand. It bears witness to sacrifice and carries it forward in silence. Because silence is the highest form of respect. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.